Hi my friends, welcome to a brand new video, and first of all a happy 2025 to all of you watching. Happy New Year. I hope you all had a nice one celebrating or whatever you did. We had a really quiet one here in the house, and to be honest it was just perfect. To introduce myself, my name is Airi. I turned 30 last year and I hope to see more of you. My goal is to be relaxing and comforting, so if you haven't already grabbed yourself a drink, I have my decaf cappuccino here. We can just chill out together while I rub it on at you for the next however long. So enjoy. I hope you all are feeling fresh and rejuvenated for the new year. I know a lot of people don't like to see New Year as this new big ordeal and new year, new me, but for our situation this year it's very different, and I am seeing 2025 as a fresh year, which is very exciting. It's a really nice change because I've never truly felt like that before. I've always liked New Year's, and I always had New Year's resolutions and ideas of how I wanted to change myself or aspects about my life, but this year is very special because I'm currently 37 weeks pregnant with our first. So 2025 is definitely going to be the biggest change yet, and I'm just seeing life in a whole new way. And whilst I'm off on maternity, it's a luxury that I've never had before, having all this time before baby comes. So I'm really able to sit back, reflect on what I want, and yeah, I suppose I'll go through these goals that I have with you because I'm hoping for this year to really be a big positive change. And do let me know what kind of goals you all have. I'm very intrigued and curious to see how other people view their goals. I just find it very inspiring. And also I'm still on the lookout for a brand new journal, planner, diary, so if anyone has any good recommendations please let me know. A new 2025 resolution or a tradition that I'm wanting to implement is creating a vision board. I've made similar kind of vision boards in the past, but nothing as specific as the one I did, and I thought, oh, on New Year's Eve in the future we can sit down, do our vision boards together, probably as a family, and I thought that was quite a nice tradition to have and something to look forward to and not see the new year as a negative thing. In my eyes, I think that would be something really nice to teach our child and hopefully future children. Just to have something to work towards, be inspired, and just having a passion inside them. So I do have everything written down on my laptop as well, and I think it's important not only to have imagery on your vision board but to have bullet points as well. That's the method I used, and then I also saw Roxy Nafusi, I believe it is, talking about this. She wrote the Orange Manifest book. I'll pop a picture here, and I've only started to read this last year, but she also mentioned the same tactic that she does. She actually does only bullet pointed vision boards because I think it's nice and clear. I think imagery can be a little bit too wishy-washy sometimes. I think you need to be very clear on what you want to achieve, especially when it comes to manifesting. There is so much I'm manifesting this year, and yes, I have everything written down in my notebook to go through with you today if you're interested in hearing them. Now obviously with becoming a new mom, my biggest goal for the year. Well, I have two tied biggest goals, but one of them naturally is to become a new parent, be a good parent for our child, and just thrive. That is my main goal. I want to be a happy mom to a happy baby, and that is all I can ask for, really. I do have some intertwined goals in becoming a parent. There's just so many to go through, but I am manifesting a positive birth, and whilst I know you can't predict these things, I'm definitely trying to keep a calm headspace, knowing what I want and just hoping everything does go to plan. Yes, I might be a little bit naive, but I would rather be that way than anything else. And if I start to get anxious and nervous about it, I will just go down that pathway, and it's not somewhere where I want to be. So if any of you have any positive birth stories, or even if you don't, I think all birth stories can be positive in their own way. Please let me know if you have any advice, or yeah, just let me know how you feel in the comment. I am also hoping to breastfeed, so that is definitely one of my goals when baby's here. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself for whether it works or doesn't work. I want to try breastfeeding, not only for the baby, and also because it's a natural human production in women's bodies. It's something that I'm really curious about, just like I am with birth. I'm really curious to how it's all going to feel. I find it all fascinating how your body changes for pregnancy. I think it is beautiful. I'm hoping to breastfeed just so I can see the benefits that it has on your postpartum body. I do love fitness. It's something that I want to get back into, so I'm hoping that I can find peace with it all following birth. And so yes, fitness is a big one for me in 2025. I've always been into weight training type of workouts. We have, luckily, Callum built us a gym in our garage. I'm so grateful that we have that as well, because obviously bringing a baby to a gym, unless you go somewhere like David Lloyd's and you can pop the baby in the creche, is that what it's called, and do your workout, I can actually work out at home, which is really, really nice. So I'm envisioning, I don't know, baby's asleep or in a little bouncer in the corner while I do my workout. Maybe it's something I'll share with you in future, but it's definitely for my mentality, for my overall health. Being a new mom, I want to be in a position where I feel good, I feel energized, and yeah, just feeling confident in my own body again. And then another major one I have is actually teaching my son Japanese. I am half Japanese and half Danish. Unfortunately, I don't know very much Danish at all, but we were raised learning Japanese, and we also went to a Japanese school within the UK on weekends, and we did actually briefly move to Japan where we went to school, so learning Japanese has always been a part of our lives, and I definitely want it to be a part of my child's life. We still have a lot of communication with our family in Japan, and I would very much want them to be able to communicate together, and it's not something that I want to lose with as our family progresses. I think it is such a benefit to knowing another language, and I don't take it for granted at all. Whilst I do want to do this, I am not fluent in the language. I know a great deal, but yes, I'm not fluent, so I do need to try and scrub up. If you don't use it, you do tend to lose it, unfortunately, so I need to get back up to scratch with that, because I don't want to get to a place where my child is learning Japanese and then they take over me and I'm stuck and I can't teach them anymore. I would love for them to go to a Japanese school within the UK like we did as well. So hopefully that is on the cards. Yeah, so wish me luck with that. Okay, and then for the main other goal that I have is being on YouTube. This is something that I've wanted for so long. I can't even really put into words. It is something I've dreamt about for years and years, but never really had the courage to do it. So I can't believe I'm actually finally sitting here and recording this video, and I'll have it up for you guys. It still feels quite surreal to me, but at the same time I am finding it quite natural and addictive as well, which I'm hoping is a good thing, and I'm just rolling with it at the moment. I tend to have quite an obsessive personality when it comes to hobbies. You know, I'll pick something up for 2 weeks, get completely obsessed with the hobby, and then I'll drop it. And I might come back to it in a few months' time, a few years' time. But I need to be consistent, and that is definitely one of my goals. I'm someone who's very much a perfectionist, and it's perfectionism in my eyes and what I determine to be perfect. And if I'm not happy with something, I dwell on it for a long time, and I never end up getting to where I want to. So a big goal of mine is to try my hardest to let that go, and not in a sense that I'm not going to work hard, but I need to remember that being this perfect or having your work be perfect is not the be all and end all, but to be present, and most importantly to stay consistent. I'm really hoping that that's what I can be for all of you. I want to be a measure of comfort. I want to be someone that you can relate to. I think that's what I've always enjoyed out of watching people on YouTube. I've been an avid watcher since I was a young teenager, like I think 13, maybe slightly before as well. And I watched all these beauty gurus. That was what I mainly watched to begin with, but over the time, you know, I watch a lot of vloggers. I find comfort in these people, and you know, I've always wanted to be the same thing for someone else. So I'm really hoping that that is the direction I can take. As I mentioned before, I have the luxury of this time before the baby comes and whilst I'm off. Yes, I think I might be a bit naive into how busy I'm going to be with a new baby over the next year, but at the same time I do see other content creators with newborns and they're still managing to do it, and I just need to remember in my mind that it is something that I really want for myself. It's something that I've wanted for a long time, and I'm finally biting the bullet and doing it and giving it a go. I actually bought this camera back in April 2021 after being inspired from New Year's. It took me a few months to buy the camera. Freddie, my love, who I was watching, and she did a video on starting a YouTube channel, just going for it, and I felt so inspired that year, but it obviously didn't work out for me. I tried to film a couple of videos, but I found it very awkward and nerve-wracking, and I just never went any further with it, and I felt so ashamed and disappointed in myself that I potentially wasted all this money. But I knew one day that it would be something I would come back to and hopefully have grown to be able to do it, if that makes sense. I think a lot of the time people put pressure on themselves for their goals, and it may just be that you're not in the right time in your life to do it. Does anyone else agree with me here? I've had many different goals in the past. For example, I actually wanted to be a makeup artist. Every time I did hit a goalpost of mine. It's hard to explain, but I had all these goals, and my friends and family were all aware that this is what I wanted to do. And a lot of the time when I didn't hit my goals, I was very embarrassed or very hard on myself. But eventually when I did do the goal, or took the next step to where I wanted to be, I would tell myself, okay, if I know I really want to do it, I will do it, and I will put in the hard work to get there, but it has to feel right for me. And whilst it might sound like an excuse at the time when you do push things off, I think you do need to get to a place, have that growth within yourself to throw yourself down that path and excel at it. I do think you need to be in a specific place of your life, and maybe things will all, you know, fall into place for it to happen. So please don't be too hard on yourself if you've tried to do a goal in the past and you haven't been able to achieve it. I think if it's something that you really, really want, when the time is right, you will put that hard work and effort into it. And I'm so proud of myself for doing this now. I just need to keep going, not overthink what other people may perceive about me or judge me for. That is a big insecurity of mine. I just need to push past it and know that this is truly what I want. So as long as it makes me happy, I will keep going with it, and I hope that we can build a really nice community here and, you know, give each other support. So if you do have anything you would like to share with me, or give me tips or feedback, please let me know in the comments. I've always been a silent watcher, and it's so ironic now that I really want people to comment down below. I understand now how much that makes you feel connected, so maybe I'll start to be a commenter on other people's videos. And yeah, please do like and subscribe. It's something that I've been doing a lot more recently, because you realise how much you can make someone's day by just giving them a like or a new subscribe button. So if there's anything you can do for 2025 and you watch social media, you can give them a follow, a subscribe or a like every single day to a different person, and you'll make someone's day every single time. So that could be something you can add to your list. Okay, another one that I have written down is relationships, and that is to grow and nurture my relationships. I've always had great friends, like a select few friends that I find comfortable, I can be myself with, and I really want to nurture those friendships. I'm nervous about having that distance with becoming a new mom, but it's just something that I need to put the effort into. But that is definitely something that I need to change about myself, and I'm telling myself now I'm going to do that this year. And then the other relationship I want to work on is that with my fiance Callum. We have a great relationship. We've been together for just over 6 years now. As I said, we have our first baby on the way. We actually got engaged in November 2023. Wedding planning has completely gone out the window, or went out the window, when we found out we were pregnant. We're very casual people when it comes to getting married anyway. We know it's something that we want to do in future, but we didn't get on the wedding planning straight away. You know, I want to do this, I want to do that. It'll happen when it happens. Perhaps this year we will start wedding planning. I have put that on my list as well. But yes, with becoming new parents, I think it's really important to work on your relationship together, and just remember that you were each other's first, and, you know, prioritize your bond together. You know, without that, you don't have the fundamentals of your relationship. And I just want to make sure that we communicate well and we continue to put each other first, obviously besides for our baby. We just remember why we wanted to be in this position. I think it's very easy to go at each other, especially when you're tired, when you're under pressure. And don't get me wrong, Callum and I do bicker. If arguments happen, they happen, but we need to make sure that we communicate well and find a solution to any problems that we may have. Yes, definitely want to keep our relationship strong. We love to travel together, so hopefully it's something that we can do. With baby being here, we're very aware that it may not be the case, but we would love to explore that option together. So yes, wedding planning maybe on the future cards for this year. I don't know what year we would plan to get married. I really like the idea of our child being at our wedding. I actually think that's really nice, even though it's not traditional or conventional in that sense, but we are not very traditional people, and I don't mind whatsoever. Yeah, who knows? If we do set a date, I will let you know, and potentially have wedding planning videos this year. Who knows? I do find it all very exciting. I would love to capture those moments. I've always dreamed of trying on wedding dresses and, you know, all of that. So I hope that comes true one day, but for now it has definitely taken a backseat whilst I'm pregnant anyway, so we're happy to wait until that day comes. And then lastly, what I have, and it is definitely tied into what I was talking about earlier with wanting to start YouTube and having all these excuses and distractions, it is to work on myself when it comes to certain feelings I have held me back until now. It's a big element for me, but I really want to dig deeper into how I can change my perception, really. The main thing that really has held me back over the years to sitting down and doing something like this, putting myself out there, is I think embarrassment. I think it's embarrassment anyway, or it could be seen as fear of being judged, anxiety, and I don't know what it is about me that feels so nervous to put myself out there or even share my goals with people. And it seems so funny that I'm sat down here sharing my goals with you all, especially this being on social media one, because I don't feel like I can sit down with my closest friends and talk about it. It's something that I find very difficult to admit. That's what I really want. And over the years I've told myself, well, you know, the only reason you don't tell people is because you don't want to jinx it, and, you know, all these superstitious things that if I tell someone something's going to happen, then it's not going to happen. I think it's very much like that. For Christmas, he bought me a Mac Airbook, specifically because it has iMovie on there, and he knows that I want to do YouTube and make videos, and without iMovie, I think that was just the easiest way to be able to edit videos easily without having to download software. I was kind of in this limbo of, well, you know, you can have all these goals, but if you don't have the equipment to do the thing or the money to do the thing, it can make it very difficult. So I'm very grateful to him, and I totally understand that it's not feasible for everybody, and it hasn't been for me in the past, and perhaps another excuse as to why I've not gone out there and done it. I mean, other people might say, you know, it's an investment, which I do think it is, but with that you also need to have the motivation to do it, because if you spend all this money and then you don't follow your dreams, you know, it can then be seen as a waste of money. So I'm very grateful, and I'm determined now. I don't want to let anybody down. I think I forget how supportive people can be. You know, in the last year I did try to up my social media game a little bit. I did find it quite challenging while being pregnant, and I had all these setbacks in my mind, and again a lot of excuses, but a lot of the time I did find it very difficult to publicly post in front of my friends, and my friends seeing this. I always thought, okay, I'll do social media, but I'm gonna block it absolutely everybody that I know, because that's the only way that I'm gonna feel comfortable doing it. And I really don't know why that is. I still don't know why that is. I do understand, you know, a lot of the time things can seem a certain way when it's not actually fact. This might seem very easy to some people watching, but actually I found it very difficult, and it's taken me however many years to finally sit down and do this. So I need to take that with a pinch of salt. Yeah, just in general I find it very hard to open up about my true feelings of my goals and what it is that I want. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's a fear of failing, of being rejected or judged. Again, I'm not sure, but it's something that I'm really going to try and work towards. Sometimes I just need to have that mentality of, right, just post it. No one cares. Just post what you want to post, and it doesn't really need to be that deep. Why do I have to overthink and overstress about something that, you know, someone might scroll over for half a second and may not pay any attention to? Like, why am I dwelling so much over what people think? That is the one thing I really need to get over, because it's holding me back. So yes, I'm hoping with having the courage to post out on here that it will transverse into other social media platforms, and I can over time get more confident with it and just enjoy it as well, because that is the main point. I do enjoy it and I don't want that to take away from it. So yeah, that is all of my goals really. I think I do have some interspersed here and there, but they are the main ones that are on my mind. Thank you for listening to such a ramble. I would love to hear what your goals are for the year, if you do have any, or if it's not your thing at all, please let me know. I just hope you find comfort in this video. I've definitely found it comforting to let it all out. It's kind of felt a bit of a therapy session. I hope it wasn't too negative. I definitely want to keep a positive space here. I'm just really excited where this can lead to, where it can take me. So I will keep consistent. I am gonna go ahead and film my next video, so I've got something lined up for you next. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you join me again on my next video. I hope you all have a lovely day, morning, evening, wherever you are. Say hi. I hope to see you again in future. Thank you so much. Bye.